Deep for the Jags is number 10, Kevin Porter, number 6.
And as a result, sky is clear. I won't say the turf is dry nor the stands dry, but it is playable. And we're ready for Hillcrest, Evergreen, and Bayside Academy, a couple of teams with one loss. But for Bayside Academy, that lone loss came out of region play. Not true for Hillcrest Evergreen. Hillcrest Evergreen with a loss to T.R. Miller, the number 1 team in the state. Back to pass, and it is incomplete. In and out of the hands of Kendrick Nels. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Thanks so much to Jared Narand. I'll make that Justin Narand, who is the athletic director. Also the football coach here at Hillcrest Evergreen. Had an opportunity to talk with him earlier in the week and said, hey, come on. So I came on in the stands and actually on the Bayside Academy side of the football field. Running play and not a whole lot of room, and Monroe Parton able to catch up with the running back Kevin Joseph. Joseph will get back to the line of scrimmage, pick up nary a yard, brings up a 3rd down. So a 3rd down and long for Hillcrest Evergreen. Right about their own 20-yard line. Joseph going from one side of the line to the other. And you would assume a passing situation for Porter on a 3rd and long, and he indeed drops back to pass. Flushed out of the pocket, looking, and it is incomplete. And it'll bring up a 4th down and long, a 4th and 10. And a punting situation for Hillcrest Evergreen. So barring an infraction or a turnover, nice start to the football game for Bayside Academy with a 3 and out. Onto the field to kick is Patrick McDonald. Meanwhile, a couple of return guys back to receive. Noah Kane and Sam Cunningham, as that one is fielded by Kane at the 49. An excellent place to start for Bayside Academy here in a very key matchup, especially if you're looking at the possibility of hosting a playoff game. Pretty much it's, not cut and dried. You still got half the season to go, but certainly looking like the 4 teams that are going to be in postseason, we know. The question is, where will they be? 1, 2, 3, or 4? 1 minute into the ball game. And by the way, we've done a lot of improvising again. You might call it Marbury. Improvised to be able to bring you coverage. And as Lyons on the carry, and Lyons will make his way inside. And twist, turn, reverse field position, and all the way down to the 23-yard line will go Cade Lyons. From his vantage point, almost at field level, difficult to see what is happening on the turf, but obviously Cade Lyons saw an opportunity to squeeze to the other side of the field and pick up additional yardage, and does, down to the 24-yard line. Where it is 1st down and 10, Bayside Academy. So a nice first carry for Cade Lyons. Mo Miller. Handoff given to Billy Neal, and Billy Neal will bust his way inside the 20. Gain of right at 5. Football inside the 20, inside the red zone, down to the 19-yard line. And a team that's been known to put the ball upstairs frequently hasn't yet. A couple of effective run plays, one from Cade Lyons and the other from Billy Neal. And it is a 2nd down and 5 at the 19. Handoff is given to Neal. Neal shaking would-be tacklers down the sidelines, into the end zone, touchdown from 19 yards away.
Into the touchdown for the Eagles. Going to first quarter, Eagles got first.
And Bayside Academy already on the board, an impressive three-play drive that consumed 51 yards and the final 19. Billy Neal punching it in. And now trying to tack on the extra point. It is Nathan Ivan. Ivan's kick up, and Ivan's kick is good. Bayside, an impressive 51-yard, three-play drive. Billy Neal. Final 19. Kick is returned by Joseph right up the middle. Inside Bayside territory, finally tracked down from behind by Noah Kane. And the Jaguars, just like that, responding to the 6 and then 7 from Bayside with a good kickoff return by Joseph. And that puts the Jaguars inside Bayside territory at the 44. A flea flicker and Joseph incomplete pass. I think that Porter trying to get it to Lowry. And the incomplete pass will bring up a second down and 10. Hillcrest Evergreen, only loss of the year coming to T.R. Miller. 33-28 was the final in that one. And obviously it came in region play. And I've given up the middle and then twisted backwards. That is Nelms, and Nelms picks up right at 4 to bring up a third down and 6. Hurry up, Nelms will get inside the 30. And Hillcrest Evergreen will pick up their first down. And it's compliments of the hurry up. Porter quickly back to snap the football. Give again goes to Nelms, and Nelms breaking tackles inside the 25 to the 22. And a couple of yards outside of the red zone. And they're already back to the line of scrimmage. 8:28 to play. Here in the opening stanza. This time it is Joseph making his way down to the 10, and it's that hurry up, and it's hurry up on steroids. I mean, they are back quickly into formation. Inside the 5, I thought I saw a penalty flag tossed into the fray on the Joseph carry. And there is an infraction. Let's see who it is against. And now the official waving off the flag. So from this vantage point, it looks like the ball spotted somewhere around the 6. As we hit the 8-minute mark. Here in quarter number 1, and quickly down the field goes the Jags trying to tie the game up. Hand off. Given to Joseph, and Joseph coming up just shy of the end zone.
He's going to be mad right at the goal line. Stop made by both.
And again, quickly back into formation. Joseph in the backfield. Hand off Joseph. He'll be stood up at the goal line, but finds his way in for 6. Boy, that was just a bang-bang drive down the field, set up by the nice Joseph return. And now the Jaguars are an extra point kick away from tying the game up at 7. Joseph handling the chores, the 5'11", 171 senior. Kick up, it will wobble off to the side, and Bayside hangs on to a 1-point lead. Seven minutes, 26 seconds left to play in the opening stanza. 7-6 ball game. Evergreen has had the ball twice, scored once. Neal on the return. Penalty flag will fly, and he'll be dropped inside the 30, near the 29. Well, let's see what the penalty flag is about, whether it will help or hurt Bayside Academy. 7-6 ball game. Neal with a 19-yard touchdown run from Bayside. Joseph with a 1-yard TD run from the Jaguars, and the infraction will be charged to Bayside. You can see the penalty yardage being marked off at the point of infraction. The line of scrimmage right about the 13. If I am seeing the line of scrimmage correctly, as I mentioned, we're almost on field level. Difficult to get a gauge for exactly where the ball is spotted. It looks like right about the 13 or 14. A week off for Bayside, and an opportunity to get guys that were a little banged up healthy. Trying to get Yamani back on the turf, still about a week or two away from a preseason injury. Around the end goes Kane Lyons, and he'll be dropped out of bounds near the 19. And there comes a late flag in. And let's see if penalty yardage will be tacked onto this one. Need a late hit, and it will be charged to the Jaguar. Coming up at halftime, we talk with Jonathan Vines, basketball coach, tennis coach, English teacher, all at Bayside Academy. And this busy weekend of sports kicked off yesterday with volleyball in Bruton, Coastal Alabama North, knocking off Wallace Selma. Then we got baseball and football tomorrow, volleyball too, and baseball on Sunday. Out to the 32-yard line after the penalty yardage marked off against the Jags. Homecoming here for Hillcrest Evergreen. Bo Miller. And off given to Lyons, and Lyons looking for running room. Nothing there up the middle. Might have Squeaked out a yard, but not a whole lot more. And it'll bring up a second down and 9. And baseball tomorrow, 2 fall leagues. Showcase and ABC. Football up in South Carolina, Georgia Military taking on Lewisburg. Volleyball in Bayman End. Coastal Alabama South and Sneed State. And it's all right here. Miller tucks it in, takes off. And he'll be driven out of bounds near the 40. Well, there's yet to be a pass in the football game from Bayside Academy. And there's yet to be a complete pass from Hillcrest Evergreen. 3rd down and 3. Neal, big in those short yardage situations. He's in midfield.
Number 8.
So a first down. Football in midfield. Second drive of the football game and the quarter for Bayside Academy. Opening drive started about right where this football is now, near the 49-ish. First down and 10. Neal turning his way to the left side and will pick up 4. Bringing up a second down and 6. Bayside Academy's lone loss of the year came 5 games ago now against St. Michael, the season opener. Since then, have reeled off 4 straight, including 2 against region foes. And trying to make the Jags another region victim. And off straight to Neal, and Neal dropped behind the line of scrimmage at the 48. And they'll bring up a 3rd down and 11. And let's see if Bo Miller goes upstairs for the first time this evening. Five minutes to play in the quarter. A week off last week for Bayside Academy. Back home next week at Cottage Hill and then the region game. And Miller looking for time, first of all, to pass. Flushed out of the pocket, got running room. Very close and does have a first down. Well, it was a designed pass play, nothing there for Miller. He tucks it in, takes off, and has the first. So still Bayside without a pass, but nobody's caring right now as long as that pigskin is moving in the right direction down to the 36. Where it is first down and 10 with 4:22 to play here in quarter number 1. Bayside a 1-point lead. Scoring on their first possession of the game, and now their second possession. Dropped way behind the line of scrimmage as Miller back to the 48. So Bo Miller a loss of right at 11. And it'll bring up a second down and 21. And Lions in the backfield, and this might be one of those plays where you do indeed put the ball upstairs, trying to cut some of this second and long and turn it into a 3rd and manageable. Just inside Jaguar territory. Miller flushed out of the pocket again. He'll fire downfield. It is in and out of Parton's hand. Trying to keep the feet in and extend the frame for the reception. The incomplete pass will bring up a 3rd down and long. 3rd and right at 21. Bayside's got to get it inside the 25 to pick up the first. 3:17 to go opening quarter. Miller passing, looking, and it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Miles Uter. And the incompletion bringing up a 4th and long in a punting situation. Or at least you would assume a punting situation. And yeah, there you go. Nathan Ivan. Onto the turf at the 38 to boot it away. Dorian Watson, the Jaguar return guy, standing at his 10. Fair catch called for and made at the 13. And that is where Hillcrest Evergreen will take over first down and 10. So both teams now have had a couple of drives in the opening stanza. And both teams converting on one, not the other. And just to bring it up, Bayside on their first, not their second. Hillcrest Evergreen, not their first, but scored on their second. 3:03 to play in the opening quarter. Porter with a handoff, and there is running room to the right side.
Going to be a handoff to Morris Norman.
Out across the 25-yard line goes Norman.
Number 5, David Phillips. First and 10, Jack.
First and 10, a little more breathing room. Not that the 13 was, like within the shadow of your own goal line, but you like it better out to the 25 or so.
Palmer,
Nels on the carry, and we're back to this hurry-up offense. Porter on the keeper, and he'll be dropped at the 31. Well, here's the hope that this hurry-up offense is just as fatiguing to the offensive linemen of the offense of Hillcrest Evergreen as it is to the defense of Bayside. Kevin Porter, senior quarterback, giving the sidelines a look. Coach Justin Narend, 8-8 as the head coach. That is into the turf, incomplete. Well, the officials say it's a reception. Then bounced into the hands of Northern. But the official who called it said it was a reception and was looking for the backside and did not see it bounce into the grass. Well, that was a big third down. And that, I believe, is Billy Neal down, and that's not good.
I'd like to recognize Evergreen, Evergreen, Castleberry, and Repton High Schools, class of 1973.
Well, let's hope that he's looking at the calf muscle, and yeah, that's what they're doing. And that is certainly a much better sign than a knee problem, ankle problem. The fact that they're working on trying to stretch out those calves on Billy Neal. 1:33 to play. Quarter number one. So Neal, okay, he'll come out, set out a play, get back onto the field unless, of course, coach uses a timeout. He won't. Football at the 47. 93 seconds left to play in the opening quarter. We're hoping the rain holds off. Got a little bitty tent set up, a 4x6 footer I don't know what it would protect if it got really rainy here. Porter drops back to pass. Looks, fires, and that missed everybody. There wasn't an Admiral or Jaguar within 5 yards of the Porter pass. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long, but there is a penalty flag right there in midfield, which often is an indication of a hold. And it is an infraction, obviously, going against Hillcrest Evergreen.
Back in their own territory. 42-yard line will bring up a second.
Football back to the 42, a replay of 2nd down. .121 to go in the opening quarter. Quickly expiring stanza. And a lot of that due to run plays. Porter got a receiver open, incomplete. Well, they had Amarius Northern open in the flats. They're just a little too tall with the toss, and the incompletion will bring up a 3rd down and 12. Well, I mentioned the baseball tomorrow. Mississippi Gulf Coast starting at 10. Jason Thompson in the call. Volleyball at noon. Jarrett Bates handling Snead State and Coastal South. Football at 3 Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. Porter to pass. And Porter to run. Runs out of bounds near midfield, and it will bring up a 4th down and short. And do you go for it here on a 4th and right at 2? I'll be in Casey, South Carolina, Georgia Military College, and Lewisburg. And that is a 2 o'clock kick. And then more fall baseball on Sunday at Mississippi Gulf Coast and Wicksburg. 4th and 2. Porter on the keeper. And he's going to power his way for the first. I believe it will depend upon the spot, but from this vantage point, looks like he may have it. Let's see. Well, wait a minute. They're moving it back a little bit. Might not have it after all. Spotting it down around the 47. And that should be a loss of downs and a Bayside pigskin. The officials, though, saying let's bring on the chains just to make sure. Just a little bit inside. 1 minute to play. When I say just a little bit, how about 0.8 of a second inside a minute to play? Chains coming out onto the field. And we're about to find out if it is 1st and 10 Jaguars or 1st and 10 Bayside. Spot on the football, at least from this vantage point, appeared to favor Bayside. Also like to thank our corporate sponsors, and yeah, it is noticeably short. It is 1st down and 10 Bayside. Able to hold Porter. Keep him from getting to the 46. Admiral's saying, hey, we'll let you have the 47, not the 46. And it is 1st down and 10 Bayside. Bayside has been in 4 overtime games, and 2 of them have been against this team. These teams play one another very tough. Bayside holding the edge in the series between the two, 4-3. And Bayside's never been shut out here by Hillcrest Evergreen in this series. Obviously not going to happen today. And K. Lyons got anything to do with it. He may have more. Wow, he's just ducking guys and makes his way inside the 30 to the 29. Rumbles inside the 30 to the 29. First down and 10, Bayside. And let's see if there's the final play of the first quarter. Now the Hillcrest 29. Handoff given to Lyons. The Lions will dive forward to the 25, gaining 4. And I think that's going to do it for the Stanza. We've wrapped up one after one. The lead is one, and it belongs to Bayside. One corner in and one score each, but one extra point kick for Bayside Academy, and it is the Admirals that have a 1 point lead heading into quarter number 2. As I mentioned, very significant region game, especially if you're wanting to host. I mean, granted, everybody's wanting to host. Handoff given to Lyons, and Lyons down to the 24-yard line. And 2 if you knock off Hillcrest Evergreen. It's starting to look like that last game in region play at Davenport Field against T.R. Miller could be for all the region marbles, but we're a long way from there. And I assure you, Bayside is not thinking about the Tigers right now. They're thinking about another set of kitty cats, the Jaguars. Low snap. Give goes to Lyons. Lyons trying to cut it back outside after finding nothing up the middle. Gained maybe a yard. And it'll bring up a 4th down and short. And you've got that big Bubba package coming in. Billy Neal, who is typically in these short yardage situations, on to the turf in a 4th and very short. Trying to keep the drive alive. Jags just saw their drive snuffed out on 4th down. And I think Neal's going to have the first and more. Well, he just avoided would-be tackle for lossers. Really looked like initially he was about to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage and just found the little seam. Popped through it, gets the first and 10. And the football inside the 15 at the 14. Bo Miller has attempted a couple of passes, both incomplete. Primarily success on the ground. He's the reason for the 1 point lead and the just picked up first. And there is a timeout on the field with 10:06 to play in half number 1. 10:06 to play, half number one. Mo Miller and company at the 14 of Hillcrest Evergreen. With a 1-point lead and wanting more. Miller. Pass is caught by Bo Anderson. And right there is that Admiral tent, which kind of hampers our view. But as you can tell, it's doggone close. And I believe he got a first and goal, Bayside. Well, I told you we're almost at field level in the top of the stands on the visitor side of the stadium here in Evergreen. Now, if we were on the home side, we would definitely be perched substantially higher. Miller, give goes to Lions. And there's a flag thrown in the midst of things. And let's see if this one is coming back again. Anytime you see a flag in that vicinity, you start thinking offense, and particularly hold. Let's see what the official indicates. A horse collar. And it's going to be charged to the Jaguars. So that is good news, half the distance to the goal. Lions carry, got a little assistance on the horse collar. Football right about the one. And you know who is typically in these situations. It is Billy Neal. And he's in the backfield, but time out on the field first. And it will be asked for by the Jaguars, looking for the solution to stop the Admirals at the goal line. Ball on the one. Billy Neal into the end zone. His second touchdown of the evening. 1 yard drive. Not the drive itself. It consumed a lot more yards, but I'm talking about the final one that got Neal in. And put 6 on the board for Bayside. Turns it into a 13-6 advantage. And trying to tack on the extra point is Nathan Ivan. Trying to stretch the lead to 8. Out of the hold of Noah Kane. Kick up and good. Bayside by 8. End over end kick rolls to the 14, and there's a big seam up the middle. Joseph, he will lose the football at the 42. And who got on it? And it looks like it is going to be Jaguars in possession. So nearly a huge break for Bayside Academy, with an opportunity maybe to turn it into a two-score game. Most points scored in the series, 42. And that was scored by Bayside. Least in the series, nothing. And that was Hillcrest Evergreen. Happened in 2015 in postseason. Pass is complete to Northern. And he will pick up 6 on a first down. We'll call it 5. Maybe a little better than 5. Long 4, short 5 coming up on a second down. Porter pass into the backfield, and not a whole lot of running room for a gentleman for whom we have no name. Don't have a 5 on our roster. Got a couple of yards, brings up a 3rd down and 3.
3rd down and 2. All at the 49-yard line.
Jaguars have got to get inside Bayside territory near the 48 to pick up the first. Flush out of the pocket, Porter. He will be dropped. There is a flag tossed in. Well, there's a couple of things. It could be a hold or it could be a face mask. I'm not sure if there was a face mask in the midst of that pileup. Let's see the infraction and who it's charged to. And it is going to be charged to the Jags. So the question is, do you take 4th and 4 or a 3rd down, the yardage marked off in the penalty, and a replay, and there's your answer. They'll take the loss on the drop of Porter and turn it into a 4th down and 4. Football at their own 48. And at least at the moment, looks like Hillcrest Evergreen thinking about going for it. They've got to get inside the 48 of Bayside to pick up the first. Up the middle. Right near the line of question, the line of first down or not, and I don't think Joseph got it. Boy, it looked like he was going to for a moment. And now the referees say we got to bring the sticks out again. Now they won't have to come as far. They're closer to the sideline. It did look like he was going to get the first, and then Bayside defense tightened, stopped him right about the line to gain. And now the sticks onto the turf again. And let's see if it is a first for the home team and the visitors. Let's see if we can get around that down marker and take a look. Well, it was right behind the 4, but you saw the reaction of Bayside Academy, and then thus the down marker switching to 1. So Bayside holding. And it will be Bayside Academy football.
7:15 here to go in the second quarter.
7:15 to play in half number 1. And a conversation with Jonathan Vines coming up at halftime. First down and 10, Bayside. Uter steps towards the line of the rest of his teammates with the give going to Lions. The Lions dropped at the line of scrimmage. May have actually lost a half yard.
Hey, Lions, the ball carrier. He's going to be tackling the back there by number 7. No gain on the play. Going to bring up the 2nd down and 10.
We're calling no game. 2nd down and 10. Clock ticking. Inside 7 to play. Half number 1. Miller to pass, drops back, looks, fires. It is picked off. Jaquan Williams picking off the Bo Miller pass and bringing it down to the 39.
Ball. First and 10 on their own 39-yard line.
Got a big play for the Jaguars when they did not convert on a 4th and 5. Came up about a half yard shy, able to get the football back on the pick. With 6:31 to go in the half. Porter to pass. Lobs it over the middle, and it is picked off. Back-to-back picks. One for the Jags. And yeah, he's a happy camper. And we're talking about Sam Cunningham, but you know who else is extremely ecstatic at the moment? That is Bo Miller. Bayside Academy got the football back at the 18. And not exactly where they wanted to be after the failed 4th down conversion, but they like the fact they've got the football. First down and 10, 18-yard line. .622 to go, half number 1. And not a whole lot of running room for K Lions. Might have gotten a yard, brings up a 2nd down and 9. Well, if you're Bayside Academy, you would definitely like to get at least a first down or two. I mean, granted, every drive you want to take it to the other end of the field and score, but in this particular case, if you could pick up a first down or two, even if you're forced to kick, you're putting them back to the 20, the 30, versus trying to boot it away from this vicinity. Handoff given to Lions, and Lions again back to the line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot more, bringing up a 3rd down and long. T.R. Miller 3-0 in region play, Admirals 2-0. Then you got Hillcrest Evergreen at 2-1, Excel 2-1. The lone Hillcrest loss to T.R. Miller, the lone Excel loss to Hillcrest. Handoff given to Monroe Parton. And Parton got the first and more. He finds his way to the 45. Big play for Parton on a 3rd and long when it looked like Bayside might have to boot it away from about their 10. Parton brings it out to the 45 and gets a first. And then, of course, in the region, you've got the current winless teams in Flomaton, Cottage Hill, and Monroe County. 1st and 10 of the 45. Lions looking for running room, driven backwards at midfield.
Picks up about 3 yards. Brings up second down and 7.
Gain of 3 brings up a second down and 7. Bayside looking for some clock management too here. Not only wanting to put points on the board, they would like to take time off the clock. Anderson in motion on a 2nd and 7. Handoff given to Lyons. And Lyons dropped to the line of scrimmage.
Again, the ball carrier. Demir Smart. Italian.
So a 3rd and 7.
Also on the stop of the game. Smart back up at 3rd down. Lost a yard on the play.
And another big 3rd down play. Converted on a 3rd and 9 with Monroe Parton bringing it around the end. Now looking at a 3rd, and we'll call it 8. Football at the Bayside 49. And it looks like Bayside is about to use a timeout.
Timeout called by the Admirals.
3:05 to play, half number 1. Bayside by 8. Third down 8, Bayside. Lyons in motion. Give goes to Lyons. He will take the right side. He will be inside the 45, very near a first, if not picking up the necessary yardage for the first down. If he did not, and now the officials say he did, so we don't have to ponder if he did not, whether it would be an opportunity to go for it on the 4th. I would think yes, but it's irrelevant now, as Lyons picked up the first. And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You are watching on YouTube. And if you haven't already subscribed, we would love for you to. There is an injured Admiral Town. I am not sure at this point. I thought I caught a 13 at one point. And if that be the case, it would be Miles Uter. Here's the good news. He is on his way up. It is Uter. And he is definitely in some pain. But he's walking, and that's a good sign. To the sidelines. Sick bay getting filled up at the moment. You got Miles Uter on the sidelines, and you've got Burt Brown being tended to. Came off hobble. Handoff given to Lyons, and Lyons finding no running room, snuffed out at 46. Loss of 3 brings up a second down and 13. Now we're going to move the ball up to about the 44. So his forward progress gives him a loss of a yard versus the loss of 3. And it is 2nd and 11 versus a 2nd and 13. Well, Bayside effectively bringing that clock down now to the 2-minute mark. Man on a pass, looks, fires, had a receiver open. Bo Anderson just fired a little bit low. The incompletion will bring up a 3rd and long.
Over the pass is short, incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down.
And the incomplete pass stops the clock with 1:53 to go in the half. So a big play here. Bayside hoping to keep possession of the football and keep it out of the hands of the Jaguars. One minute, 53 seconds left to play. Homecoming for the Jaguars. Prior to the game, they named the king and queen. And are on the keeper, and he will make his way to the 41. So is it a 4th and manageable? Bayside is going to let time run out and then are down. But Jags knew that. Said, you know what, here's a good spot to use our timeout. And it looks like Bayside will bring the punting unit onto the field, but we'll do that when we return. Minute 42 to play in the half. Bayside with Ivan on the turf to boot it away, and he will. And a good-looking punt that will roll out of bounds right about the 10. Well, there is now one task for the defense of Bayside Academy. Keep the Jaguars out of the end zone in the final 95 seconds of the first half. And they're going to mark the ball out of 14. And that is where the Jaguars will take over 1st down and 10. 5-1 on the year. A football program that began in 1989 here at Hillcrest Evergreen. And has got one guy that made it to the NFL, Bob Meeks. No running room. A little surprised maybe at the conservativeness of that particular play. Maybe it's not an indication of what's left, but sure looks at the moment as though the Jaguars are content with heading into the locker room down by 8. Don't have that hurry-up offense. Porter with a minute to play in the half. And again, kind of your traditional run play.
Joseph again, the ball carried.
Out to the 18.
Will Allen again on the stop for the Admiral. Picked up a couple yards on Mercer, but making a 3rd down.
And it'll bring up a 3rd down and right at 5. And as I mentioned, kind of surprising that with 95 seconds to play in the half, Jaguars content with running out the clock. Bayside's not complaining. Handoff given to Joseph. He'll get to the outside, and Neal grabs him up, and then he's pounded out of bounds. And let's see if that stopped the clock. Picked up first. It is a first down and 10. Clock recranks. It's time to get a little bit of a hurry up. And Porter will be dropped right about the line of scrimmage. And that is going to do it for a half of football. Bayside Academy taking a lead into the locker room at halftime. 14-6. When we come back, we take a look at first half scoring. And in just a bit, got a conversation with Jonathan Vines, all part of our halftime feature.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
It is halftime of the half, a 14-6 advantage that belongs to Bayside Academy. 9:29 to play in the first stanza. Neal, a 19-yard touchdown run, and Bayside gets on the board first. Extra point kick good. It's a 7-zip lead. 7:26 to play. Zags come right back. Joseph with a 1-yard touchdown run. Extra point kick fails, and with 7:26 to play in the opening stanza, it is a 7-6 ball game. Bayside tacks on another TD and another Ivan extra point kick at the 9:03 mark in the first half on a 1-yard Neal touchdown run. And as mentioned, the extra point kick good, and that's where we are at the half. A 14-6 lead, Bayside Academy in a very significant region game. Jonathan Vines, our halftime guest. And chat with Jonathan is 90 seconds away.
The University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Great to have with us at halftime Jonathan Vines, who wears a lot of different caps there at Bayside Academy. Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Robert. Thank you for having me.
And great having you. Basketball, tennis, English. Man, there are all kinds of things that you are in charge of. I guess we're approaching the basketball season, though, correct? Tennis will be later. So basketball season coming up. So let's talk about that first. Great year last year. What are you looking for this year?
Yeah, just to revisit last year for a second, we had 6 seniors last year. Most of those guys had been at Bayside pretty much the whole way. So it was just incredibly gratifying to see those guys return to the playoffs. It had been a while since Bayside boys basketball had been in the state playoffs. So, to get to 17 wins and get to the first round of the playoffs, I just couldn't be more proud of those guys and those seniors and what they accomplished here last year.
Well, and speaking of that, I mean, is this a complete reload type situation for the upcoming year with 6 guys leaving, or are there a lot of guys who got a lot of playing time a year ago ready to fill those spots?
It's interesting moving into my 3rd year here. When you lose someone like a Graham Uter, who's the backup center on SMU's football team right now, 6'5", 6'6", 275 pounds as a high school, power forward. When you lose, a physical presence like that, you assume that maybe it's a rebuilding year and that there's going to be a learning curve. But I've been so encouraged at the cerebral nature of our players here at Bayside Academy. We have some really smart kids here, and the way that they've been able to pick up, our system of play. Our version of some Princeton offense. It's truly remarkable what these kids have done and what they're able to learn and process and carry forward from year to year. So, the things that took, an entire practice to teach and to learn 2 years ago, we're reviewing those things in 10 minutes now. So we're able to go so much further into offense and defense. So even when you lose, tremendous players like Graham Uter and Finn Niebrig and Wills Norton, so on and so forth, you just reload, right? And it's program building. So that it's been really exciting to see that here.
Obviously, the players are adapting to and learning your plan for basketball, but do you make adaptations as a coach? I mean, when you've got particular talent coming in, do you find yourself also changing the way maybe you coach or approaching the game a little differently based on that talent?
I think, at least for me, you have certain standards that are ongoing, right? That you're going to adhere to year after year after year. So, for me, we always want to be highly skilled. Okay. We want to be able to shoot the ball with great efficiency. We want to be smart, as in we want to have great basketball IQ. So I focus on a lot of situational play. Okay. In practice, we give them a lot of scenarios. We want to make sure we know exactly what we're doing in any given situation, no matter how obscure, maybe it's something that you don't see, you might see every 2 or 3 years in a game, but we want to make sure we have some idea of what we're doing in that odd circumstance. But I think you have to year to year, depending on the talent that you have and the skill set of those players, I think you have to morph and modify to some degree. This year, case in point, we have Miles Uter returning. as sort of a shooting power forward, sort of a point forward. He can shoot the three. He can play inside. And then we also have Monroe Parton. And obviously, Miles and Monroe really well from football.
Mm-hmm.
Both those guys are having tremendous years on the gridiron for Bayside. But, Monroe Parton had a broken hand last year, so we didn't have him. So that's another, he's 6'5". Miles is 6'5". Playing 3A basketball, you have to find ways to utilize, that length and that skill set. Even if, my background, even in college, my background was playing 4, sometimes 5 guards, and we're going to try to score 100 points. And when you have, those physical frames, you have to figure out ways to make the most of those guys.
In 2024-25, what is an acceptable year for Jonathan Vines?
I think for us, and not just my program, I think holistically at Bayside Academy, we're trying to grow young men and young women who are ready to go out into the community and be leaders and be lights and be tremendous fathers and tremendous mothers and tremendous examples, to be kind. And I know some of this sounds cliche, but this really is about so much more than, building a basketball program or building a soccer program. We're trying to build people. Okay. And, talent is always going to be cyclical, but, I think if we can set the precedent that we're going to be competitors, right? No matter, what the win-loss record is, no matter, 3A, 4A, 5A, whatever it is, we're trying to grow elite competitors in our basketball program, because I feel like that's a translatable skill, right? For most of these athletes, sports, organized sports are over after high school. But I feel like, learning to be a competitor, that translates to the workforce. It translates to college. It translates to for the way that you compete and you fight for your family. So those are the things that we try to highlight here.
Is there competition between coaches, by the way? I mean, maybe not outward competition, but I mean, you got all kinds of coaches with state championships there at Bayside. So is there that kind of competitive drive inwardly going, I got to have one of those too?
Am I jealous that Ann Schilling has 28 state titles? The answer is yes, Robert. The answer is yes. No, I think especially at Bayside, because it is such a unique place. Athletically, it's been such a unique place, right? I mean, things have been done here that have never been done before in certain sports. So, if you look at volleyball, if you look at soccer, and a lot of it's coaching, a lot of it's the kids, a lot of it is this community, for whatever reason, we have been excellent. We have been just nothing short of great, elite, in volleyball and soccer and what have you. So I don't think it's healthy for, a sport like boys basketball, where we've had, I think, we were 14-14 my first year. We were 17-9 last year. I think we'd had 1 or 2 winning seasons in the last 12 years before that. So I think you have to look at it program to program in terms of building a championship culture and providing an atmosphere for these athletes to compete for championships. I think that's my mantra anyway. I mean, you can provide an atmosphere where we can compete for championships every single year, whether that's 10 wins, 15 wins, 20 wins.
I did not realize until I went to the website that you were also the girls' varsity tennis coach. When did that come to be?
I've done that since I've been here. So this will be my 3rd season with varsity girls tennis. I've always loved tennis. I've always played tennis. I played high school tennis. So it's something that I'm passionate about, and it's been a lot of fun to be involved with that program. I think I've brought some different elements to that in terms of strength and conditioning and getting in the weight room and some things that were maybe unfamiliar in that program before I got here. But that's been a ton of fun as well.
And where that is concerned, what's the year look like? Does it start in, I know collegiately it starts like after the first of the year. Is that true for high school as well?
Yeah, they pushed it a couple weeks later this year. So it really kind of as basketball is winding down, we're starting up tennis. So we've, I think 3 years ago, our girls tennis won the state title in 3A. We were in 4A the past 2 years. We made the state tournament each of those years. And sort of like boys basketball, we graduated 6 seniors last May. So, some question marks there, but gosh, tons of opportunity for the JV group that's coming up.
And you are also an English instructor. Am I correct?
This is correct.
All right. I've got to ask, I got to put you on the spot. If you had to give up, if you could only do one of the 3, okay, which of the 3 would it be?
Oh gosh. The way I approach the classroom is not unlike the way I coach my teams. When we're studying Shakespeare, when we're studying Macbeth, when we're looking at Heart of Darkness, when we're looking at all these great works of literature, we're breaking them down and we're finding life lessons, which is really not dissimilar to what we're doing in basketball or tennis. So I've always thought of myself as a teacher first and foremost. You can count the number of times that I raise my voice in a given season on one hand. So I love teaching, whether that's basketball, English, tennis. I mean, obviously basketball is my first love. Playing and coaching and coaching at the collegiate level for 16 years. So, if I just had to give you an answer, I would coach basketball anywhere at any level for the rest of my life.
Jonathan Vines, always great talking with you. Thanks so much for being our halftime guest, and we're going to do this again next year too.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for everything that you provide for our community and our fan base. It really does enhance the student athlete experience. So we can't thank you enough for the work that you do around here.
Man, I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. It is halftime and a half, a 14-6 lead. Bayside Academy, big region game. You want to host a playoff game, first-round game, you really want to win this one if you're Bayside Academy. And then, obviously, Excel, T.R. Miller, Cottage Hill. But this is one of those big hurdles. And Bayside with the lead at the half. Hey, a reminder coming up here on JockJive at noon tomorrow. Volleyball, Sneed State taking on Coastal Alabama South. And Jared Bates will be there for the coverage. I'm headed here. Casey, South Carolina, where the Bulldogs of Georgia Military College will take on Lewisburg with a 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock kickoff. And then tomorrow night, we've had a change in kickoff time for this one. Allen University and Albany State, originally slated for 7. Learned today that's been moved to a 6 p.m. kickoff. That's Eastern, 5 o'clock Central. And, of course, it is all right here on JockJive. 14-6 halftime score, and we're just about a minute away from second half action.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
There is the cheerleading squad here at Bayside Academy. We admittedly don't give them as much camera time as we certainly should and they deserve here every time these guys are. As we get ready for third quarter action, by the way, I'm going to try to do it again. I mean, little different elements. I am outside. I'm under a tent. I'm in the Bayside stands. Running camera. Little play-by-play. Sticking up score. Writing down scores. I'm just trying to impress you, and it's not working, right? Because I bungle them all. But I'm about to add one. Shout-outs. It is the number attached to your scoreboard, 334-488-1385, 334-488-1385. And we're going to do it all third stands along. So if you want to shout, we want to hear from you. Short kick, return out to the 45, and a good starting point on the Monroe Parton return for Bayside Academy on a Friday night that's getting a little breezy. I hope that is not a sign that something is blowing in. You know, on days like today when there's been so much rainfall and it gets breezy, you start worrying. And when it gets cooler, you start worrying if something is on its way precipitation-wise. That would spoil the party, at least my party. So let's hope that's just a little breeze kicking up and it is not an indication of anything to come. It's got me looking at my iPhone weather app and it doesn't say any precip coming this way, so that's good. In motion, Bo Anderson. As the first drive in the second half gets underway, Kane Lyons able to get back to the line of scrimmage. And it's a second down and 10. All right, shout-outs, 334-488-1385. By now, you probably know what we're looking for. Who's it to? Who's it from? Where are you shouting from? Where are you watching from? And two, if you got a little watch party going on and you want to snap a photo, we like to be in the picture, if possible. If you can't get us in the picture, okay. Snap one anyway, text it too. Miller on the keeper, and he will forge forward to the 47-yard line. Almost said forage, but that's what you do for food, right? He forged forward. And it'll bring up a third down and 7. Shout out to my great nephew, number 66, Will Allen, from Aunt Debbie in Opelika, Alabama. Keep up the good play, Admirals. Thank you very much, Opelika, for checking in. I'm headed that way later tonight. Shout out to Will Pettis from Grandpa in Joplin, Missouri. Thank you very much, Grandpa in Joplin, and thank you for the kind comments. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast, and there is a timeout on the field that is asked for by Bayside. 90 seconds into half number 2. And the Admirals saw something they need to talk about. Third down 8, football at the 48. Admirals have got to get to the 45 to pick up the first. Give goes to Lyons. Lyons trying this side across midfield and driven out of bounds near the 49. He will be about 4 shy of what he needed for the first. And it'll bring up a fourth down and long situation. And at least at the moment, it doesn't look like the punting team's onto the field. On a 4th down and 4, and coach just looked up at the down marker and said, oh, wait a minute. Let's bring that punt team on. And they will walk onto the field. Shout out to Miles and Coach Fines from Graham in Dallas. Thank you very much, Graham Muter. Graham was part of the conversation with Jonathan Vines at halftime, if you caught the conversation. Relatively short kick. And it will roll down to about the 9. And there is a penalty flag, and let's see if it's coming back this way or it's getting further the other way. And I'm seeing the officials talk, and it looks like they've got a little body language going on that suggested a hold in there somewhere. Let's see what the official call will be, though. It is a hold. And it is against the Jaguars.
The initial signal is holding against the Jags.
So if it's half the distance to the goal, they're going to be inside the 10 near the 5-ish. Let's see, the official going to the 10, back to 15. Then says, wait a minute, I got to go the other way. So it will be near the 5. Half the distance to the goal, the 5-yard line. Shout out to number 66, Will Allen. Papa and Rah-Rah. Smith Lake, Alabama, checking in. Thank you very much, Papa and Rah-Rah. Out to the 10-yard line, a little breathing room on the carry by Porter.
Couple yards on the plate.
And he will bring up a 2nd and 6 after the gain of 4. Let's go Bayside. Shout out from Mr. West supporting y'all from Daphne High School. Daphne up 20-6 at the half against Davidson. Thank you very much for the update. Driven into the turf. That is Nelms. No gain. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 6.
Noah Breland.
Shout out Brooke Brown from Uncle Big Country. Thanks, Uncle Big Country. Shout out to the sophomore sensation Cade Lyons from your kinfolks in Blackshear, Alabama. Good to hear from the Lions kinfolk. Porter rolling to the opposite side, looking for the first. Neal will catch up with him. Did he catch up with him before the first or after the fact? Late flags coming in.
Flag comes in late behind the play. Pushed out of bounds by number 14, Brett Brown.
And let's see if that is charged to Bayside on a late hit. Based on the body language of the Admirals, I'm thinking maybe, and there is an infraction against the Admiral. So he probably got the first anyway. Penalty yardage guaranteed it. And this is a big mark-off out to the 33. So from their 5 to the 33. Where it is 1st down and 10. Porter, fake to Nelms. The pass, fires, and it is knocked down. Great job of reaching in by Angermeyer. And able to slap that to the turf, incomplete. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Looking great tonight, number 9, Cade Lyons. We love you big. Pa and Bobby from the farm in Rosenton, Alabama. Thank you very much, Alabama, for checking in. And off fake to Nelms. Porter on the keeper. Got running room. Still in his feet inside Bayside territory into the 40. And what a burst of Porter's speed. Cunningham shoves him out of bounds to the 41, but it's 1st down and 10 for the Jaguars. And they hurriedly back to the line of scrimmage. And off given to Nelms. Nelms dropped at the 41.
Did he nail the ball carry? Noah Kane trips him up.
Kane stops him for no gain.
No gain.
Shout out to Avery Farrell and Bayside Cross Country. Tomorrow at Jesse Owens meet. Good luck to the Bayside Cross Country team. 2nd and 10 at the 41. Porter to pass. Fires over the middle. It is incomplete. Boy, that went through the hands of a couple of white jerseys. Thought for a moment might be the 2nd pick of the game for the Admirals, but the incompletion will bring up a 3rd and 10. Shout out says, you know, we love our Bayside Admirals. Shout out to Miles Uter and Water Boy Madden Uter from Mama Lisa and Paw Wally. We're watching from the beach at Sandestin. Keep up the good work. Hope you are enjoying Sandestin. That is near the spot where I grew up, Okaloosa County. I think that's in Walton. Is Porter fires incomplete. Skimmed it right in front of his intended target. And it is a 4th down and 10. In an apparent punting situation, I don't think we have seen the Jags kick thus far in the ball game. But apparently they are about to. Shout out to Noah Kane and the Admirals from your cousins Quinn and Teal and the hunting camp. Thanks, Quinn and Teal. They're in the hunting camp. Patrick McDonald a kick. Kane fields. Does so at the 15. Still on his feet. 35. And that is where Bayside will take over, 1st down and 10. So that probably makes the hunting camp a little rowdy tonight. Shout out to Coach Trotter from Aunt Pam and Grandma. Go Admirals. Thank you very much for the shout out. Shout out says Bayside is very skibidi. Let's go. Well, I'm not sure what skibidi is. You know, I'm from that older generation. Not caught up on the urban slang, but skibidi. Has the ball, 1st and 10. Lions, nothing to the outside, trying to cut it back up the middle. And drop near the line of scrimmage, might have squeaked out a yard. Shout out to Nathan Ivan, the Belgium bomber from the fish camp. So we got the hunt camp, fish camp. A lot of campers watching tonight. 7:06 to play. Quarter number 3. Miller with Lions in the backfield. Second down and 9. Pass caught by Bo Anderson. Got running room across the 45 to the 48-yard line. And we'll pick up the 1st for Bayside. 1st down and 10 of the 46. 6:36 to play. Quarter number 3. High snap. Trying to track it down. Miller will catch up with it. Still loose, but able to fall on it eventually. I think that was Lions. Wow, what a high snap. And a loss of, oh, that's going to be about a 20-yard loss after the ball is spotted at the 24-yard line. Nose of the pigskin, maybe just a little bit shy of the 25. Shout out from the Yamani family in Fairhope watching. We love our animals. Thank you very much to the Yamanis. And there is a Yamani we're hoping who is back onto the turf like in a game or so. Miller able to get rid of it. Lions got running room. He will be dropped at the 40. Boy, it looked like he was going to pick up even more. Excellent pursuit on the part of the defense, but that's one of those dig yourselves out of a hole pass completions. And the ball at the 40-yard line, and I know you're thinking, well, a 3rd and 18 is not that manageable. It's a heck of a lot more manageable than 3rd and 28. Pass caught by Kane, and Kane dropped at the 43. And it'll bring up a 4th down and long in a punting situation for Bayside. Shout out to Warren Johnson from Mimi and Papa in Malbus. Thanks, Malbus, for checking in. Ivan to kick, Watson to receive. Ivan standing at his 31. Drops into the hands of Watson, waiting in the 19. He'll be dropped at the 14. Turn to try to get away and dropped at the 14-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. And it looks like that's where they're going to put it down. First down and 10 for the Jaguars. Shout out to Warren Johnson from his sister Mary. Thank you very much, Mary. 4:38 to go in the third, meaning 4 minutes and 38 seconds left to shout out. Here on a Friday night of football, Bayside with a 14-6 lead. All of the scoring thus far coming in half number one. One score each in the first. Bayside with a lone score in quarter number two. Handoff given to Joseph, and Joseph dropped right about the line of scrimmage. Bayside says the ball is popped out, and it has. Admirals with a football. So Bayside Academy taking over in the red zone. Raiders first down and 10 from the 14 after the turnover. That is the second Jaguar turnover of the night. One pick, one fumble. Admirals have turned the ball over once on the interception by Bo Miller. So it is first down and 10 at the 14-yard line. Keep up the great work, Miles and Madden Unit. Layla and Papa are watching. Handoff is fake to Lyons. Up the middle, Bo Miller into the end zone. Touchdown from 14 yards away. And just like that, a one-play, 14-yard drive. And Bayside pushing the lead out to 20-6. Ivan trying to extend it to 21-6. Kick up. Looks good from this angle. Umpires say it looks good from where they are, too. (21-6) Bayside advantage on the 14-yard Bo Miller run. And the Ivan extra point kick good. Got a shout out. It's to Keelan Stacy, the GOAT of Bayside football history. Thank you very much for shouting out. It is out of bounds at the 10. Which means it's out to the 35 or re-kick. And let's see what the Jags opt for. Looks like they probably wanted it at the 35-yard line. Well, check that. They said, hey, kick it again. So Ivan will go back 5 and boot it away once more. Great interception. Sam, Love, Dandy, and Mark. Thanks, Dandy and Mark. Shout out to Bowen Riggins Hammock and all their teammates from Coach and Mammy in Hampton, New Hampshire. Go Bayside. Good to hear from New Hampshire. So Ivan will tee it up. 5 yards deeper, booted away. It'll be Joseph from the 18. He'll be wrapped up and brought down to the 28. And Bayside is making the Jags go, darn it, we should have taken the penalty, as in the mark of the football on the 35. Not the 5-yard mark off and a re-kick.
Brings the ball out to the 26-yard line.
So at 4:16 to play in the third. It is Hillcrest Evergreen football. Well, Bayside, if they can hold the Jags under 10, they are 53-1 with holding the opposition under 10 points. Out to the 46-yard line. Porter on the keeper. This is a high-powered offense, though. You don't expect to keep the Jags out of the end zone the entire game. They've scored once. And they're back to that hurry-up offense, which was so effective on that scoring drive. As Nelms will get inside Bayside territory at the 49. And it is a 2nd down and 6. Will Allen wrapping up the ball carrier Nelms. And it'll bring up a short yardage situation, 3rd down and short. Bayside hustling, trying to get the right personnel in.
Jack moving to Evergreen territory down to the 44-yard line.
And now they've got to move on the chains for the 1st down, and that gives an opportunity for Bayside to get the right guys in. Porter on the keeper after the fake. He'll be stacked up to the line of scrimmage and may have lost a yard.
Porter, quarterback keeper. No gain in the play.
2nd and long from Porter. And the Jaguars of Hillcrest. And Dakota, if you're watching, it's your bedtime from Uncle Big Country. Wow, what a pop! Big play. Lowry stopped immediately. Lost a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. Big stop by Jack Wilkinson. And it brings up a 3rd down and 12. Football's got to get inside the 35, near the 33 to pick up the first on what you think is a pass situation. And Porter in the moment will fire incomplete. Low to his intended target, Northern. And on a 4th and 12 with 2:24 to play in the third, do you go for it from the 46? In a 2-score game. And I think the decision's already been made. Doesn't look like the offensive personnel is coming off the turf. So a 4th down and 12. Porter with Nelms in the backfield. And you're going to get a timeout asked for by Hillcrest Evergreen because they were having issues in getting the right personnel on the field. Timeout with 2:15 to go in the third. Bayside leading it by a couple of scores.
Fourth down.
Fourth down and 12 for Hillcrest. Porter drops back, looks, fires, got a receiver open, and he might have been hit early. He was. And there is going to be an infraction. Pass play intended for Northern. And the pass interference is going to give a first down on a fourth down and 12. Shout out number 58, Charlie Merchant, and cheerleader Virginia Merchant from Toots and Sonny and Fairhope. Good to hear from Toots and Sonny. So penalty yardage marked off. It will give a first down to Hillcrest Evergreen. And it'll be a first down and 10. Big infraction. Of course, the question is, would he have caught the pass? And he might have and picked up the first regardless. And I'll give it to Nelms, puts on the brakes and then takes a right turn. He'll be dropped inside the 35 near the 33. No gain, second and long. Inside a couple of minutes to play here in quarter number 3. It'll bring up a second down and 10. Football at the 31. Porter keeps it up the middle, still on his feet, breaks to the right side. He'll be brought down at the 25-yard line. And on the stop, Lad Powers. Gain 6, brings up a third and 4. Porter again keeps it. This time dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Lost a yard, brings up a 4th and 5. And Hillcrest going for it. Football at the 25. Got to get around the 20 to pick up the first. Less than a minute to play in quarter number 3. Porter on a 4th down. Drops back to pass. Looks, fires. Got a target open. It is caught. Just enough of a cushion to allow the receiver to make the catch. And it'll be a first down and 10 at the 15. And I'll give it a Nelms into the end zone. 15-yard touchdown run, and Hillcrest Evergreen, before the end of the third, has drawn to within a score. Or could draw to within a score. Still a 9-point game. Boot the extra point through. It's an 8-point game, a 1-score contest. Going for 2, it's 7. And it looks like at the moment, Hillcrest Evergreen going to go for the 2 Porter in the backfield, bringing Nelms and Joseph in. And trying to make it a 1-score game. And I'll give it a Nelms. Penalty flag flies. He is in, but what about the flag on this side of the field? And a false start charged to Hillcrest. So at least for the moment, the 2 off the board. 5-yard mark off, and let's see what Hillcrest opts to do here. This is a big conversion. Talking about turning a 2-score game into a 1-score game, heading into the 4th stanza. So that turns into a really big penalty, at least at the moment, in nullifying the 2. Porter looking for a receiver. Tucks it in. Fires to the corner of the end zone. And it is good, but there's another penalty flag. And let's see what this is. Same thing. False start. Charge to Hillcrest Evergreen. And it negates the 2-point conversion again. And pushes them back another 5. Shout out to Keelan Stacy for playing while sick. Thanks for the shout outs here in the third stanza. Well, the 2-point conversion now from the 14.
I'm going to try it again here from the 13-yard line. Extra point attempt coming up.
Porter, it's on the turf, picks it up, looks, penalty flags, toss towards the end zone, 2-point conversion, no good. But let's see what this penalty is about. If it is a hold charged to Hillcrest Evergreen, we can feel fairly certain that's going to be declined. And there was the indication. Declined. And Bayside maintaining a 2-score lead. $19 seconds remaining in the third. Short kick. Going to be returned to the 33-yard line. And then it's Kane on the return, and it is Kane slow getting up. But he's up now. Little banged up, but likely back into the ball game. Brown's been out with the injury. Uner's been out with an injury. They both come back into the game. And now it's Kane, a little banged up. And I think that's Daddy David Kane going, suck it up. Nah, he's checking on Noah, making sure he's okay.
First and 10 apples from their own 33-yard line.
First down and 10. Talk about a tough guy in Kane. Handoff given to Lions, and Lions drop behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 6.
Jaden Lowry on the stop for the Jags. He tackled in the backfield for a loss. That's going to be the last play of the third.
And that'll do it for quarter number 3. A 9-point Bayside lead headed to the 4th. Hey, thanks for all the shout-outs. Great to have you watching coverage on a Friday. And a reminder that you can always shout out on YouTube. We do an audio version in the third stanza here on JockJive. Miller to pass. Flushed out of the pocket. Still on his feet. 30. Still on his feet. 35 to the 36-yard line. Goes Bo Miller. Talking about breaking tackles. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Hit 5 yards up the highway. Hit 10 yards up the highway and still maintained his footing. Able to turn it into a 3rd down and 8. Football at the 35. Bayside need drives to consume time and at least one more scoring drive. Still plenty of time to go. And with a high-powered offense in the Jags. Pass complete. But not enough yardage for the first, and it will be a punting situation with the toss to John Ben Wilkinson. So it is a 4th down. And yeah, when you've got better than 10 minutes, almost 11 to play in the football game, and a high-powered Hillcrest Evergreen offense, you certainly aren't comfortable with a 9-point lead.
Back in for the Jags. Nathan Ivan in front formation for the Amber.
On the keeper. Drop. Before he got to the 1st down marker, but a penalty flag thrown in. And it'll be a horse collar. And it's going to be a 1st down, but there is an injury to Ivan. Nathan Ivan on the fake punt. Horse collar. The infraction that gives the first to Bayside is one that inflicted pain on Ivan, but he's up and apparently okay. And for Bayside, a 1st down and 10. That is a huge infraction. Gutsy call, too. Trying to use the element of surprise. And in reality, the Jaguar caught up with Ivan. It was the horse collar that gave a first to Bayside and now puts them inside Hillcrest territory. Better to pass. Drops back. Over the middle of the toss to Lyons, and Lyons scampering inside the 40 near the 30-yard line. Down to the 34 where he eventually stepped out of bounds. And it is 1st down and 10. Pitch over to Lyons. And Lyons, with a penalty flag tossed in, makes his way inside the 30. But let's see what the flags are about. And it looks like, according to Will Allen, there's a defensive hold. Well, no. Maybe he was pointing to a teammate and not to the other team. But he was pointing in the direction of the guys wearing black. But the penalty yardage going to be marked off against the fellows wearing white. Back to the 44-yard line, where it is 1st down and 22. Clock inside 10 to play, 9:55 to go. Here in the 4th. Lyons in motion. Lyons receives the toss, able to sidestep one would-be defender and tackler. Now Monroe Parton down. And I wonder if he got rolled on from the backside. It initially looked like we were reaching for the leg, might be a calf issue. That's what we're hoping. Not that an offender rolled over the legs and those knees got twisted backwards.
Shout out to the Evergreen High School class of 1979. and also the Evergreen High School class of 1976.
Well, they are now looking at the knee of Parton. But he's up. And apparently okay.
Hillcrest did over to 1989. Y'all gonna tell y'all age here tonight.
I tell you, the trainer has been busy tonight for Bayside. Parton's been in sick bay twice. Brown, Kane, Ivan. Second down and 20.
Second down for the Admiral.
9:34 to go in the football game.
41-yard line.
Pitch over to Lyons. And Lyons inside the 40 down to the 36. And to bring up a third down and long.
Keontae Palmore again on the stop on the jag. Brings up a third down.
Important football game for Bayside Academy. Trying to go to 3-0 in the region. And tonight doesn't assure you even a playoff spot, much less a home game, but it sure helps your chances at being a host in the first round if you could win this one. Got more region games, got Cottage Hill, got XL, got T.L. Miller. Pass caught by Anderson out in the flats. Sidestepping Jaguars, he will get down to about the 28-yard line. Bring up a fourth down and long. But it is a fourth down and doable. Was that Ivan trotting onto the field with T in here? Well, he was trotting onto the field, doesn't have a T in hand. And I think Bayside is indicating we got to have a timeout or we're going to be marching back 5 yards because of a delay of game, and that is what they will get with 7:57 left to play in the football game. Well, if you're thinking field goal, this would be about a 47-yarder. Let's see if that's what is coming when we return. Fourth down and 5, and Bayside will go for it. Bo Miller taking the snap, drops back, wants to pass, looks, fires. It is caught into the end zone. Touchdown. Lat Powers on the receiving end of a Bo Miller TD toss of 29 yards. And Bayside Academy tacking 6 more on. And Ivan will try to add 1 more. Big 4th down touchdown pass play. And the extra point kick, it is on top of the concession stand.
Nathan Ivan's extra point attempt
7:49 left to play in the football game. Miller has just found Powers on a 29-yard touchdown pass. Ivan's kick good. Joseph will return it from the 5. And he'll be brought down to the 24. And that is where Hillcrest Evergreen will take over. First down and 10, 7:44 left in the football game. Bayside with an off week the week prior. Man, they have worked out some kinks in the 14 days since they have last played. Now trying to keep Hillcrest Evergreen out of the end zone. Big drive for the Jaguars. That is Porter breaking free of would-be tacklers, making his way across the 30 to the 33. Gain of 9 brings up a 2nd down and 1. Clock running towards the 7-minute mark. Porter again, keeping the football. And again, picking up enough for the first to the 42. First down and 10. $7:09 to go. Porter, 3rd consecutive play. He'll run it to the right side and is inside Bayside territory to the 47. So 3 consecutive Porter carries. And Hillcrest Evergreen inside Bayside territory. And the official saying, hey, chain gang, get with it. Down to the 47. First down and 10. Homecoming 9 for the Jags. They don't want the Admirals spoiling it. Admirals would love to spoil things. Porter, 4th consecutive carry to the 41. By the way, I mentioned football started here in '89. They've had one NFL player, Bob Meeks, as Joseph will carry. And still on his feet before finally being brought down near the 35. Meeks went to Auburn, played 1 year in the NFL. A 10th round pick. That was back when you had 10 rounds in the '93 draft. Porter again on the keeper. And he'll make his way to the 23. It is first down and 10, 6:07 to play. And Bayside asking for time. I think it was originally for the purpose of avoiding a 5-yard penalty on too many guys on the turf. But the coach said, you know what, we need to talk anyway. As Hillcrest Evergreen has driven to just outside of the red zone. .604 to play in the football game, a 28-12 Bayside lead. Elms from the left to the right side of Porter, and Porter's running again. We stopped inside the 20. Well, Bayside wants to keep the Jags out of the end zone, but if they don't, they sure would like a ton of time to run off the clock.
Second down and 6.
2 overtime games between the two. Roll to Nelms, and Nelms, boy, just the ability to get back to the line of scrimmage speaks to the athletic ability of Nelms. That could have been Bayside football and the nail in the coffin, but instead, drive stays alive, but a loss of yardage.
They have lost a couple yards on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
Going to bring up a 3rd down football at the 17, maybe the 18. Again, I'm almost on field level. Difficult to tell from this vantage point. 5 minutes to play in the football game. And I'll give it to Nelms. He'll find running room to the right side into the end zone for the touchdown. And there is an injury to boot. So an 18-yard touchdown run, turning it into a 28-18 contest. And the injury to Noah Breland. And a big, we assume, 2-point conversion coming up from the Jaguars, trying to turn it into an 8-point game. And more importantly right now, the injury to Breland. Well, there's the good news. He's out. By the way, I noticed that Hillcrest Evergreen coming out and check on Breland. I got to say thank you very much to Justin Noren, the head coach at Hillcrest Evergreen. Gave him a call earlier in the week and very cooperative. We appreciate that so much. Could have said, nah. I said, sure. Come carry the game. We appreciate the opportunity. Big 2-point conversion to trim it to an 8-point game. And Porter is into the end zone for 2.
Goes in for the extra point attempt, which is good.
Four overtime games in the history of Bayside Academy football, and 2 of the 4 have come against this team. It is a 28-20 game, and Bayside was anticipating something of the onside variety. The only guy back to receive was Will Smith.
On the stop for the Jag. Hammer will start first and 10.
There have been some spectacular games between these two just in the 4 or 5 years that we have been carrying Bayside Academy football. Are we headed towards another fantastic finish? Big drive for Bayside. Inside 5 to play, 4:55 to go. They need a time-consuming, ground-eating game. No Miller. Big yardage on a first down. He will pick up enough for the first. Down to the 27-yard line. And I do not know how many timeouts the Jags have had. The scoreboard here does not indicate timeouts by the two teams. So I don't know how many's left. And I'm going to Lions, and Lions wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Penalty flags fly in where often you see home. Not a guarantee we'll see. It is a home, and it is charged to Bayside. So a 10-yard mark off on the point of infraction.
That backs the ball up to the original.
Football sitting back on the 15-yard line.
So it's going to
bringing up a first down and 20.
First and 22 here for the Admirals.
Admirals have got to cross the 35, get near the 36, maybe even the 37 to pick up the first. And Bayside trying to consume as much on that play clock as possible. There are play clocks at both ends of the field. It goes into single digits. You can see it in the backfield behind quarterback Miller. Lions to the 20. And again, there's that play clock in the background, giving you an idea of when Bayside is snapping the football. Generally speaking, it has been inside 8. Second down and 15. And here we are inside 8. Handoff given to Lions. And Lions will be dropped at the 22. It'll bring up a third and long. Well, a situation again, if you are Bayside, where you want that clock to run down, now the dilemma is, do you put the ball up? Incomplete pass stops the clock. If you don't get the first, you run the ball, don't get the first, clock runs, and they've got to use a timeout to stop it. So let's see what the Admirals opt to do. They're going to go upstairs. Miller looking, and he will fire out of bounds, incomplete. 2:25 to play in the football game. And Hillcrest Evergreen is going to have an opportunity. And they should wind up with decent field position depending upon the Ivan kick. Richardson standing at his 46, and now he'll swap places, and Watson will go to the 46. Ivan needing one of his best kicks of the year with 2:25 to play in the football game. End over end, hits, hops into the hand of Watson. And Watson will drop at the 47. The penalty flag, what will it do? Will it get the Jags closer or further? There's the infraction. It is charged to the Jags. So the illegal block will mark off 10 from the point of infraction. And there you see the official. Oh, not 10. How about 15? To the 36-yard line. 2 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in the football game, and this is, I know we're saying all game long how significant drives are. Well, there are none more significant than this one for the offense of the Jags, the defense of the Admirals. Porter on the keeper, dropped near the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Sam Cunningham on the stop for the
And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
brings up 2nd down and 10.
Clock running. Nearing the 2-minute mark. Porter, give goes to Joseph. And Joseph wrapped up at 41.
Kevin Joseph, the ball carrier. He picked up about 7-8 yards on the play.
He will pick up 6, bring up a 3rd and 4. Drop behind the line of scrimmage. Porter driven backwards, helmets and bodies flying.
That's going to be Kevin Porter Jr.
And it'll bring up a 4th down. And this is a huge play for the Jags in Bayside.
1:35 here to go.
And we have got a timeout on the field, I believe. Admirals aren't gathering yet. Now they will. 1:35 to play. Bayside by 8. At the moment, this is the play. This is the ball game for the Jags on a 4th down and 4. At their own 43-yard line with 1:35 left to play in the football game.
4th down and 4.
Porter with Joseph in the backfield. Porter will be dropped behind the line of scrimmage. I don't see any yellow hankies. Bayside stopping the Jags on a 4th down. 1:30 left to play in the football game. And Bayside should be able to run out the clock. Go to 3-0 in the conference. 5-1 overall. And Hillcrest Evergreen, their 2nd loss of the season. Improved that series mark to 5-3 for Bayside. First down and 10. Yeah, you just got to avoid the turnover. First down and 10. And you hear the coaches lamenting, protect the football. Handoff given to Lions. And Lions to the 40. Gains a yard. Jaguars will call a timeout. 1:24 left to play. One minute, 24 seconds left to play in the football game. Jaguars, 8-point lead. Miller still on his feet. inside the 30, and if that's a first, that might be all they need. And he's got the first down. New set of downs. Let's see if the Admirals go into the victory formation. Now it's a matter of just running out the clock and keeping a hand on the football.
Less than a minute left.
And don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Trying to grow the numbers, trying to grow the subscribers. And you get access to shows, interviews, games, and more when you subscribe. And you're watching on YouTube. So all you got to do is find that subscribe button. Well, it looks like the play clock's got more time than the game clock, so we shouldn't have to snap the football again. There's about a 1/10 of a second difference, but it's to the play clock's favor, and this one is over. And Bayside with a big win. 3-0 in conference play. Keeping up with T.R. Miller and enhancing greatly the odds of hosting a postseason game. 9:29 to play in the first. Billy Neal, 19-yard touchdown run. The extra point kick good. Admirals got a lead they would never relinquish. 7:26 to play in the first. Joseph, a 1-yard touchdown run. Jags cut it to 1. The extra point try failed. 9:03 to play in the half. Neal again with a touchdown. This one from a yard out. Extra point kick good. And the Admirals took a 14-6 lead into the locker room at halftime. Third quarter scoring went this way. 4:24 to play in the stanza. Miller, a 14-yard touchdown run. Extra point kick good. 21-6. Jags come back. 19 seconds left in the stanza. Nelms, a 14-yard touchdown run. It was a 21-12 game after the extra point try failed. 7:49 to play in the fourth. Miller finds Powers on a 29-yard touchdown pass. Extra point kick good, 28-12 Bayside, and with 4:56 to play in the game, Nelms an 18-yard touchdown run, a 2-point conversion good, and that is where we finish this one. 28-20. Bayside wins it 5-1 on the year, 3-0 in conference play. Don't forget tomorrow volleyball at noon. Coastal South hosting Snead State. I'm headed to South Carolina, Georgia Military, and Lewisburg at 3 Eastern and 2 o'clock Central. Got baseball tomorrow as well from Mississippi Gulf Coast. Whole lot of stuff here on JockJive. Come back, won't you? And we'll see you next week in Daphne as Bayside plays host to Cottage Hill. For all the folks with Bayside Academy and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next week in Daphne.